Hello world and welcome to this week's Geek Movie News. Starting off this week with some casting news for Anchorman 2. And for those of you who haven't heard yet, Harrison Ford has joined the cast of Anchorman 2. That's right, Indiana Jones, Han Solo himself, will be in Anchorman 2. Now it's rumoured that he'll be playing a legendary newscaster who is a sort of mentor to Will Ferrell's Ron Burgundy. This for me is fantastic news. Ford, very good actor. He can do serious and he can do comedy equally as well. Hopefully this adds just another epic, genius level of humour to the movie, and I can't wait to see it. Godzilla reboot news this week, and it looks as though they have cast Juliette Binoche, best known for being in The English Patient and Chocolat. She joins Aaron Johnson, Bryan Cranston and Elizabeth Olsen in the cast, and this really is shaping up to have some fantastic actors involved. Hopefully this means it's going to be a good script, and as I've said before, we can forget that original American Godzilla film ever happened. Quite a lot of Marvel news this week, starting off with some news about X-Men Days of Future Past. First of all, this will be exciting for all of you that enjoyed the original trilogy of X-Men movies. Halle Berry has confirmed that she has signed on to appear as Storm in the new movie. Now, whether that means that she'll only be appearing in a certain segment, whether she'll be a main role, it's not quite sure yet, but I think this is fantastic. The more of the original cast we can get in, the more that we can clean up the franchise, as Singer has said he wants to do, the better, and then we can forget that stuff like Wolverine Origins and The Last Stand actually existed, maybe. Also, they've added another new member to the cast, that being Omar Sy, who's best known for his role in 2011 French film The Intouchables. Now, no news yet on who he'll be playing, although there is plenty of speculation around the fact that he may play Bishop, famous X-Men character that a lot of people will know from his run in the 90s comic books and in particular in the 90s animated series. Good news, he seems to be a good actor. I mean, we don't know who he'll be playing for definite yet, but we'd all love to see Bishop in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so it could be a good choice. Let's hope that we get some more details ASAP and the X-Men fans like me can continue to get excited. Next up, some news about the upcoming Hulk movie, which may be scheduled to be released after Avengers 2. And basically, it looks like the Planet Hulk rumour is complete nonsense, or at least according to Joss Whedon, the writer of the Avengers and Avengers 2. He stated that there's no plans to use the Planet Hulk storyline in the movie at all. And obviously, with Mark Ruffalo signed on to play Bruce Banner in numerous Marvel movies, that any Hulk movie would have to have a large proportion of the movie where he would be Banner, rather than, if it was the Planet Hulk storyline, the majority of the movie where he's stuck as the Hulk. Kind of makes sense and disappoints me at the same time. I would really like them to do a Planet Hulk movie. I think it's a fantastic storyline. I think it shows a different side of the Hulk as the monster character, rather than just this sort of split personality. But if they don't do it, it is completely understandable. You don't pay an actor a lot of money to not portray the role which he is meant to be portraying in the main movie in the franchise. Wouldn't make sense, but we'll see what happens. This could be just them shooting it down, but more likely it's just not going to happen. It looks like Amazing Spider-Man 2 is going to be suffering from that same thing that Spider-Man 3 suffered from, and that is just too many villains. As we already have talked about, Jamie Foxx looks like he's going to be playing Electro, Paul Giamatti is probably going to be playing Rhino, and now Chris Cooper has been cast as Norman Osborn. Now this shouldn't be too much of a surprise because Dane DeHaan has already been cast as Harry Osborn. It has been stated in the past that it is likely that Norman Osborn will turn up in this rebooted film franchise, and hey, we all know what happened to Gwen Stacy in the comics, so it kind of makes sense. It just seems very strange to have so many villains all at once. hopefully if they are going to go down the angle of having Osborn's transformation similar to what they did in the first Spider-Man movie, they at least save it till towards the end of the film or the start of the next film, because 3 villains is just a little bit too much, guys. Focus Features have announced that Joe Wright will be adapting the new upcoming Neil Gaiman novel, The Ocean at the End of the Lane, and he will also be directing it. Not much is known about the novel at the moment, but it will feature a storyline based on magic and memory and survival. I mean, it's Neil Gaiman. It's gonna be fantastic. The man knows how to write. And then hopefully having someone of the pedigree of Wright actually adapting this for film means that we get a spot-on, amazing adaptation. Some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie news this week, and it looks as though the release date for the Turtles movie, while staying in 2014, has gone to later in the year. It was originally going to be released in mid-May, around the same time as Godzilla, but has now been pushed back to June of 2014. Now, the main reason that most people believe this has happened, and I believe this too, is that they don't want a franchise with giant mutant turtles going up against a giant reptile attacking cities. They will probably garner the same audience, and therefore splitting them to different times in the year makes a lot of sense. Hopefully it gives them a little bit more time to sort themselves out and make this a fantastic movie, but as I've said before, Michael Bay is involved. DreamWorks has hired Blacklist screenwriter Michael Cook to take a pass at writing a screenplay for Button Man, The Killing Game, based on the recurring 2000 AD strip by John Wagner. Now, the strip revolves around Harry Exton, who is an assassin who gets involved in this killing game where lots of different assassins try and pick each other off for rich patrons. Sounds like a very, very interesting prospect. Coming from 2000 AD, where these kind of stories are prevalent, it will no doubt have a fantastic pedigree behind it. And getting someone involved like Cook is a strong sign that DreamWorks are taking this seriously. Some more Dawn of the Planet of the Apes casting news this week, as it seems that Gary Oldman will actually be playing the resistance leader in San Francisco called Dreyfus. Now, very little else is known about the other cast members, as I mentioned last week, their characters, what they're going to be doing, but it has been confirmed that Oldman will be playing this human resistance leader in San Francisco, and that the movie will be set 15 years after the previous movie. Now, this is fantastic. We all know that Oldman is a stellar, A-list, brilliant actor. We've seen what he's done in sort of a nerd tour de force in the Nolan Batman movies. He's going to be in the upcoming RoboCop reboot, and hopefully that will be the one saving grace of it. And also, he's going to be in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Fantastic. Do you want more X-Files movies? Well, David Duchovny does, as he came out and spoke about it on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. He went on to talk about the fact that he, Chris Carter and Gillian Anderson all would like to do at least another movie, if not more, that they're all committed to doing more X-Files movies once the time is right, once the money is there, and once the script is written. Obviously, they're all busy. Duchovny with Californication, Anderson, who will be appearing in a new Hannibal TV series, and Chris Carter's always got his hands in some sort of project going on, mainly on television. But I want to see this, guys. I mean, the last one wasn't brilliant. It felt like an extended big monster episode of the original series. It was still very, very good. But I want to see a true third amazing X-Files movie and spin off and do more movies, because you still have a brilliant, massive fan base, and you could also expand that and, sell your back catalogue more, guys. Just Fox, listen to what I'm saying, yeah? According to Hollywood Reporter, fans of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit are going to have to wait an extra 5 months to see the third movie in the series. That's right, The Hobbit There and Back Again has been put back to sometime in December 2014, after originally being scheduled to release in June of the same year. Now, no news yet on why this has happened. As a fan of the franchise, as a fan who's waiting to see this movie and the next movie, as long as it's brilliant, as long as it's as good at least as the first movie, which is very, very, very good, and I did a review of it, which is a link to there, click out and watch it, we don't care if it's a little bit late. Some Justice League rumours this week, as Latino Review has stated that Christopher Nolan may very well be in the development seat of Justice League. Now, I know he's actually stated beforehand that he won't be having anything to do with DC movies after his trilogy and the fact that he is producing the new Superman movie, Man of Steel. But Warner Brothers are working hard to persuade him to be involved long term, in the same way that Joss Whedon is involved in the second wave of continuity in the cinematic Marvel universe. Also, if he does work on this movie, more likely in the development side, possibly on a sort of screenplay or helping to plot the storyline at the very least, and production, that it could see a return of Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne and Batman. For me, I would love to see that happen. I think Bale was a fantastic both Bruce Wayne and Batman for the modern era. But I think you're more likely to see Michael Keaton come back. It's just not going to happen. You're probably more likely to even see bloody George Clooney back. Not going to happen. For me, I can't see Bale, after stating that he was done with the character, returning for the Justice League movie, unless obviously they offer him a huge amount of money and they do the character some justice, because he's just not going to tarnish his reputation on a subpar screenplay. So guys, if there's even an inkling of hope, a little bit of hope that this is going to happen, make it happen, because those two would be fantastic, and I think it would be perfect to carry some continuity from The Dark Knight over into Justice League, even if you are going to reboot the franchise in the future. Okay guys, as always, thanks for watching. Down there's a like button, you click on that, let me know you liked it. In the description box below is a link to my Facebook, my Twitter and my Tumblr. Go and follow me on all the social networks and find out what's going on with me and this channel. There's also a comment box down there, you can leave a comment about this video, also a video response if you feel like it. Up there is a link to part 1 of last week's Geek Movie News. There's also a link there to part 2 of last week's Geek Movie News. As you know, it was a double episode. And if you click on my face, you can watch my new Geek Movie review for Stoker. See what I thought about that movie as well. Thanks for watching, as always, and until next time, folks, au revoir.